Namaste, brothers and sisters of the light. We're here bringing forward a collective message. So it is I, Toth Hermes, from the Emerald Tablets. Writer, magician, scribe extraordinaire. And we're here to bring forward a message for the collective today regarding the 1010 Gateway. The Councils of Light are working to provide a new stream of abundance, care, arrival, and delivery of all that you wish to enjoy on this planet and in these realms across your awakening pathway. Now is the time more than ever where we are reaching terminal velocity. The greed, the war, the illusion, the strife is coming to an end. And as we are awakening more to the revelation of all that we are, beyond the scope, reason, and imaginings of the human form, we're now awakening to different rites, different rituals, different pathways, different initiations into and to become better acquainted with our light, with our being, with our state of presence, with our I am, and with our all. Okay, so we're going to go into a reading with the mystical shaman as well as with OG Rider Waite. Okay? The tables are turning in our favor now. And it's time for us to be able to increase our self-worth and to become self-reliant upon awakening our own humanitarian vision and what that looks like for ourselves in the collective stream and in the throes of ascension that we are currently on at this time. I say to you, brothers and sisters and dear ones, we are ready. The time is now. We have reached a mass breaking point in the acceleration of our processes. And what is coming forward for all of us now is a greater opportunity to reside within the faith of our alliance with the stars, with planet Earth, with the trees, with our neighbors, and with our ancestors. The God and Goddess within you is ready to awaken now. And so we awaken out of the dream, out of the spell, out of the illusion, to become one and to become better acquainted with the all-knowing, the all-trusting, the all-allowing in this time. And here we go. All right, so I want to thank Toth, Hermes, and Ra for being here. We're going to go into the mystical shaman. Ooh, okay. There we go. Wow. Full on. The Crow is the first card out. Messenger 13, right? Coming through with the essence of the divine feminine. The Crow coming through as a messenger, right? The support of the animal kingdom and how our animalistic nature, right, of greed and of filth has been destroying our society. And it's now time for the alliances to listen to the message and to heed the call of Broken Arrow. A peace treaty that has been called forward, right? For us to stand tall as peace, to stand firm as peace, especially in our multidimensional and interdimensional expression. That the realms of putrid hatred and desire for separation are no longer allowed. This is being provided for by the high councils and the elders to begin embarking on this peace treaty now. The hero's journey is coming to a close. And as a result, when we reach the end and come to the precipice of this new dawn that's awakening within all of us, the signals and the messengers will arrive. What are these signals for ourselves? Dissolve the stereotypes, right? Allow yourself to live free. The ruination of the old human design and the old human blueprint is coming to a close. And as a result, this message of faith and honor and of courage asks us to relax into the still point of knowing that at our 0 point potential, we're open into infinite, expansive creativity, right? And a part of that is being able to work with time outside of time, right? And to honor the new flow of this passageway that's arriving for all of us. This 1010 Gateway is going to bring forward a lot for us. It's the Magick's honor to provide you a guilt-free, shame-free ride into the tornado. What is this tornado? It's the liftoff point or the jump-off point into awakening. It's the ability to see beyond our own illusion and delusions of grandeur and to awaken to the fact that we are more right? That we have to take responsibility for our well-being first, and our responsibility of how we treat thy neighbor as we treat thyself. It's a recognition of the scope of how we play out the game, how we play out the ruling classes, how we play out with our own awards and rewards. That which we receive, what do we do with it from here on out? How do we take better care to honor the brothers, to honor the sisters, to honor the awakened, and to even honor the unawakened? It's truly about coming into this place where the class and social divide is gone, right? The class and the social divide is no more. Stand still. This portal of purification is arriving. This stillness, or what we call the still point recognition, right, is where we can be still and present with self, with all we're here to be and all we're here to honor within the all. Every emotion, every face, every society, every class, every jurisdiction now comes together to recognize that we fill up this void space with the reality of our choosing. What we liken to be cometh of it, right? And that which likens to self likens to all, and we rise up all together. So as we rise with self, we rise with all. And as we are all coming apart at the seams, right? Sit still with this feeling. Sit still with the remembrance of the resilience of you are in the being state. Sit still with the knowing that all is well and that you are taken care of. That the beauty of your desires, right? The beauty of this expansive awareness is here now, and it's available to us. And it's about rewriting our scripts and rewriting our stories. But in this standstill, this moment of pause, we can come better acquainted with Gaia, with ourself, right? And with what is collapsing around us in every now moment. The more we sit still with the purification, the more we honor what this system is providing for us, this new system that's being built right now. The moon. Cycles. Cycles of death and rebirth. Cycles of creation. Every creation has a cycle. Every creation has a timeline. It has a pathway that's available to us, right? And a part of the cycles that come into our awareness are when we are closing out cycles, when we are opening up cycles, when we're in the middle of a gestation, when we're integrating, when we're in the void. This is about knowing and honoring what our energetic cycles are of death and rebirth, right? Just as the moon wanes and waxes, casts a shadow, and illuminates fully, it's becoming clear with our own cycles and our own regenerative patterns. The more we tune within and know about our regenerative patterns at a cellular level, at a molecular level, right? The sooner we begin to become more conscious and aware of health, of what it's like to transition, to move vibrational bandwidth, to shift spaces, to change trajectories, right? And we will know intuitively that beyond this cycle lies a new moon ahead. Just as there is a full moon, there is always a new moon, right? And as it always casts a shadow and reborns into the full light of its illumination, so do we as we honor that cycle. So this is really about coming into, are we honoring our cycles, and how can we become better acquainted with how the planetary body and the aspects of the planetary system of Gaia, how it's ascending, shifting, and changing, and how that is working with our molecular structure, how that's working with our physical body's template, right? How we are coinciding with the cycles of the moon. This is when we begin to become better acquainted with the goddess and the cycles of the goddess that exist within all of us, even in the male form. Yes, that's right, masculines, males, you have the goddess within you. The sooner that we begin to end the divide and tear apart the old constructs and recognize that this goddess cycle exists within all of us and exists within humanity, the better acquainted we are to how the lunar trajectories are affecting us as humanity, and we can stop giving our power away to systems and to other people to provide this information for us. It's really about really tapping into our own lunar calendar, right? Our own solar calendar, to tune into our frequency and to begin to stabilize in the knowing that the planetary aspects, right, as they are shifting and moving and dancing and swaying with us, so does our form as well, right? There's magnetic poles, there's migration patterns, right? There's a intricate design that is meticulous, and it is conceived beyond this third dimensional construct. And the more that we tune to that, the more we become aware of the magic that exists beyond us in our dimension, in our polarity. And we can now begin to stand still with the knowing that what's happening here is temporary. And with current events, with what's going on in the world, right? Sometimes to shift our perspective and choice point focus into something that's existing beyond this third dimensional constructs begins to anchor in, right, alignments and realities that we might not normally have access to. And to create these access points for ourselves gives us an opportunity to fully embody our magic, right? Because then that's when the stage is set for a new awakening and a new arrival for all of us. And this is what the Magicks are bringing forward right now. It's awakening to our lunar calendar. It's also awakening to the reciprocity of the universe, right? We live in a reciprocal universe that is about give and take. What you put out comes back. What you conceive will be, so mote it be, right? So awakening to this level of magic is that if we are the creator, right, that are in full control of the creation of our reality, right? We hold the keys to the holodeck, right, and how it functions and its design. How are we choosing to design our own play, to design our own script, to design our own scenario, to design our own magic? We are the designer and the architect of that magic, and we're awakening to that at greater and greater and greater and greater levels. Out comes the child, right? The child is putting a focus on the needs and wants of the child right now. Freedom for the child, freedom for the inner child, freedom of our divine innocence, magic, cycles, all of this stuff. It so too affects the child. So we're going to discuss the inner child because I heard discuss the inner child. What do we need to discuss about the inner child? The awareness of the child's needs, okay? The child within, the child without. This is about beginning to care and respect for the child again, right? Because as we are walking through the polarity, the illusion, the holodeck, the play, the script, right? The rewrites, the child can at moments feel lost and confused. Take a moment out on 1010 to play with your child, right? The Magicks, the Magi, the Mage, the Sage, very much so want us to be able to play with the child again. There's something really beautiful about our own child, okay? So for myself, I'm hearing prankster and trickster. That's my child, right? But the pranks and the trickster is a form of evolving magic that we all have within us. And as soon as we honor the play, we honor the pliability of the form, right? When we honor the play, we can shift in frequency very quickly. How can we play with our reality? How can we play with our environment? How can we play with our creations, right? The other thing too is that the child, the wounded child, could have a difficult time with this death and rebirth cycle of the moons, right? So a part of this is to get better acquainted with the child and have those discussions with our own inner child. It's about an inner dialogue or an inner monologue where we can sit there and say, oh, dear one, beautiful child of mine. As we are awakening, to our ascension process and awakening process, there are shifts and changes. There's a balance point, a still point that we all have to come to, but we also all have to soften and work with the child to allow the child to belong again. Because in the ways of self-care, right, that have been flowing through the trajectories for eons of time, there's been a lot of neglect of the child, and this neglect of the child is what is awakening within all of us. The trauma lines, right, the parental patterning, becoming better acquainted with what our child needs and what our child wants in every given moment, right? Take that moment out during this portal and passageway to play with your child. It's going to activate a new level of magic and a new level of abundance within you. I promise you. The mages, the sages, the magi, right? The gods and the goddesses all today are asking us, play with your child more. It's important for awakening. It's important for ascension to play and to honor the child within self and the child within all. The vision quest is now coming up. This is coming up with dance. Get the body moving, right? Get the body moving. When we stand still too long, complacency will come. This is about us being able to dance with the moon, dance with the lunar cycles, dance with Gaia, dance with the goddess, dance with your vision for humanity. When you dance with your vision of humanity, you're going to begin injecting that into the quantum field, and you're going to begin recognizing how your body has shape over the form. Okay. How your body's behavior, shifting and moving energy, how quickly it can accelerate your process, right? The more that we get the molecules and the cells moving at a faster and faster rate, especially with ecstatic dance and joy, right? The faster we're going to be able to shift out energies. This is about coming into sacred ceremony with self and honoring our trajectory and honoring our pathway through that of dance and a fluid movement. With this, once again, accelerating, getting the heart pumping, getting the blood shifting. We're going to be able to purify the blood and to purify the vessels of the mind, body, soul, spirit. Well, we're speaking of mind-body connection, but the soul and the spirit, the essence of ourselves, is going to facilitate and accelerating that pathway. It's the movement that's going to shift out the energies, that's going to begin to dance and accelerate our cellular body to arrive at this new plateau that's awakening for ourselves. We are in rapid acceleration. If we can get the body to flow with the acceleration, the more we are going to excel beyond that which the form has taken hold to. It's about detaching and allowing ourselves to let go and to be free. Dance with the moon, right? Be crazy, be wild, be fun, be ecstatic, be vibrant, right? Because that level of dance is going to allow us to release and to let go, right? We're going to be able to access realms, dimensions that we haven't been able to before, because the form has been holding on to what the 3D experience is. So if we can get lost in the music and get lost in the dance for even just a couple of moments a day during this passageway and during this portal, okay, from 10:07 to 10:15, we're going to gift ourselves an opportunity to be able to open up more to receive the magic that we so desire to see within this world, and the magic that we as a collective have been calling forward. We're ready to awaken to magic. We're ready to have our gifts and abilities here, but our body needs to let go. So we have to begin stimulating the organs, stimulating the cellular body in a new way. And a great way to do that is through dance. It's through movement, running, jogging, exercising, hiking. Do what you can to get the body moving. It's going to help to shift out a lot of polarity and to drop a lot of density really quickly. And the more people we can get in the collective to do this, the faster we're going to be able to shift humanity. So us as the light, us as light workers, us as the starseed and indigos, we need to get the body moving again. We need the form to become formless and to experience what it is to have sovereign body and body freedom, right? Freedom of body. Our bodies have been taken over, right? We've been dealing with these old distorted Atlantean and Lemurian timelines, right, with genetic modification and all of this distortion. So as a result, as that is collapsing, the more we can take sovereign body back and play with the form and be free in the form, the more we're going to be able to relax into the integration period and the acceleration that is occurring as a result of all of the solar frequencies, all of the star codes pumping through, and the gateways that are opening up through this arrival point, right? This is a big shift coming, guys, and we're in an acceleration point. Hyperdrive on, and it's time to go. The time now is, it's time to go. Ah, here we go. Queen of Swords popping up. This is Mother Aquarius coming through. Mother Aquarius has a lesson for us. She has a teaching, and I want to quickly just ask Mother Aqua, Mother Aquarius, which this is the age of Aquarius coming through. She's got something to say. She's, especially under the Crow card, she's got a message for us. And so I want to ask the age of Aquarius, the Aquarian energies, to bring forward this message now for ourselves. Okay. It's about mastering your magic. Fully mastering and embodying your magic. Now is the time to step into our pure creative potential. Take the high road in the 3D trajectories. What you see going on, right? The verbal wars, the outbreak, the discord, the divide, the chaos. Rise above it. This is very much so Andre Day rise up energy. Rise above it. Take the high road. You don't have to play in those realms anymore and in those realities. You don't have to fight. You can play. New timeline opening up. The sword of truth. Honor your truth. Stand in your truth. Stand in your kingdom. Stand in your luxury. There's something about that in being luxurious, right? That doesn't have an elitist mentality or an elitist attitude. It's really about these new abundant timelines that are opening us at, on the surface level might seem a little egoic, right? But really at a deep level for ourselves, at a deep level, it's required for that which we're asking to provide for a sustainable new earth economy and sustainable new earth abundance. It requires us to be able to begin asking for a little bit more, right? Because we're going to be giving a lot more. Us that are in those caregiver roles and that are in those caretaker roles are here to gift a lot for humanity. We're here to do a lot and build a lot. And as a result, we need to receive a lot more. And a part of that is knowing your worth and knowing your stance and knowing that you are valuable, that the intel, the insight, the dimensions that you hold, the experiences you've had are valuable. Your truth is extremely valuable. Your revelation, your clarity, your love, your insight is valuable. And this message coming through is saying, take a moment to stand in your truth and to honor that, because there is new beautiful timelines that are opening up through this passageway, and it's going to help us to cut through a lot of bullshit in our lives. There is this time frame is going to be cutting out a lot of old. The energies themselves are going to reveal a lot for ourselves. So if you find that there's a drastic shift in your perspective or a drastic shift in your environment, honor it. Honor it, because it's necessary for where you're moving to. If things leave really quickly, let them leave, let them go. New is being reestablished. New is coming in. There are rewrites coming. There's genetic codes that are arriving. There are polarities dropping. There are timelines that are dissolving. This level of purification requires a great skill set of honor to be able to honor the passageway. If it walks out, let it go, let it be, right? Allow the new to arrive for you. You don't have to force the new into position. It will organically flow right into your life in divine timing, because that's the way the magic works. You don't need to force, push, pull, or manipulate anything. You don't need to try so hard. You don't need to hold on. All you got to do is let go and receive. All right? All right. The old support system dissolving. Spinal cord, right? We're working with this. This is also two injuries of the old world coming to the surface, right? So those old injuries, right? Those old pains, those old heartaches, those old traumas, if they come up, let them go, right? They don't belong. They don't belong, and that's why they're here. The grief, the pain, the fear, as it arrives, let it go. It does not belong, okay? There's a new support system that's coming in, and as a result, the old support system goes. What does that mean? The perception of loss occurs, right? That we've been betrayed, that we've been stabbed in the back, that we've been taken advantage of. Let it go. It's okay. We have to honor the process of this feeling as it comes to the surface, because we're building a new support network. So if you have a lot of spine stuff going on, lay down flat, go lay out in the grass, right? If you find that you feel like your back's tweaked or you can't get comfortable, right? Go out, purchase yourself a massage, right? Go out, take care of yourself, honor yourself through this process, because this does very much so feel like a physical body ascension symptom. And one thing I've been going, my lower lumbar and my sacrum has been acting up a lot lately. More rest, more period of reflection. That's why that standstill card comes through for ourselves as well, is taking a moment to take care and also to learn. The way that we learn is when we see the betrayal, we begin to honor what the lesson and the wisdom is from it. We take our truth from the lesson, which is our wisdom, once we apply it. And once we apply that wisdom, this doesn't happen anymore. So this is about letting go of this. This is also too coming through very much those stop stabbing other people in the back. Let go of the spite. Let go of the aggression, right? Stop projecting this stuff onto other people. The wounds that we hold when we don't feel them fully and heal them fully, we can project onto other people. And the ancestors are coming through saying, guys, the swords gotta stop. The cutting, the defied, the racism, right? Judging occult practices, judging mysticism, thinking you know it all, thinking you know better than everyone else, right? This is all about the lightworker ego. Let it go. Let it go. There's humility and compassion in what we're doing, and we need to honor and take care of one another, not fight, not discord, not tear apart, not betray, not go behind people's backs, right? We honor. We honor truth with love and with clarity here and now. This is the power that's coming through. This whole cultural and racial divide, the socioeconomic class divide that's been happening amongst lightworkers, come on, guys. We're way more aware than that. We don't have to play into that illusion and play into that 3D matrix model again. We don't. There's a new model that's arriving. There's a new destiny. There's a new pathway. There's a new trajectory. This new trajectory invites us to really unify. It's more than just talking about it. We're walking the unity now. There's a difference between saying your unity consciousness and being unity consciousness. This is asking us to be unity consciousness and stop betraying one another and betraying ourselves, because when we betray one another, we betray the all. We betray God's source light. We betray our ancestors. We're not here to play in those games anymore. We got to let that go and come together as love and unify. We're needed right now. Very much so, we are needed. The Emperor's coming in. Divine Masculine. Clearing out the Divine Masculine. Clearing out the old masculine distortions. Awakening the Divine Masculine within. Awakening our power of the masculine. The strength and the energetics that are required to fully become that embodied Divine Masculine requires a lot of strength. Oh my gosh. It requires a lot of strength. And as a result, there's this grounded, practical approach of the masculine that's coming through. The deep, sacred connection of the masculine to Gaia, right? This is the grounded masculine. This is the masculine that takes charge of its reality, whether you're in a female embodiment or a male embodiment. It takes charge of the reality and it powers through. It says no more. It declares sovereignty. This is the action and the momentum, but it's grounded, stable, practical, and it cares for Mother Earth. This is the nurturing quality of the masculine that's coming through. 9 of Pentacles. There we go. Caring for our starseed self. It's knowing that a part of this energy of the masculine is being able to be not only a guardian of Gaia, but a guardian of her children as well. Right? And so it's time for us in the masculine energetics to begin taking care of our culture, taking care of our belief systems, taking care of our ancestors, taking care of one another, right? Taking care of one another. Because right now, we're dropping the control narratives. We are literally, another masculine energy coming through and is cutting through all the deception, all the control, and all the perception that we are stuck, right? So this energetics, which is kind of fiery in nature and cutting, is coming through to cut way and to free up the feminine, the children, the women, and the men from all of this illusion of abandonment, this illusion of imprisonment, and this illusion of control. It's letting all of that go now. Why? Because our 10 of Pentacles is here, the Tree of Life. This is awakening to our magic. This is awakening to our clarity, our divine intelligence, right? To our energetics, to our foundations, and securing that foundation. This is also to a completion cycle of that abundant world that we are calling forward is available here and now. But we have to drop a little bit of the illusion that we're stuck. We have to free up the masculine. We have to free up the archives. We have to free up the root a little bit to be able to receive this. So this is calling forward an action of freedom. An action of freedom for the root. An action of freedom of our abundance, right? And also to stabilizing in the frequency of divine clarity, which is a knowing. This is becoming the seer. This is becoming the all-knowing again. This is being able to access your Akashic records to awaken these gifts and abilities. Akashic downloads on the way. Bing, 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 bing. We're awakening the Magick. We're awakening the record holders. We're awakening the archivists. We're awakening the light code keepers. We're awakening the grid keepers. We're awakening the goal keepers. We're awakening the grid keepers. We are awakening the divine within all of us. And a part of this is that this energy is coming through to cut out, to say no more. The bullshit's done and we're shifting. It's no more bullshit, it's bullshift. We are shifting up. We are shifting up. And it's because right now our memories that are coming forward require us to balance and stabilize with these new memories, these new unique codes that are coming through for all of us. We all hold a very unique code set. We all hold a very unique divine DNA. We all hold unique skills and abilities. And right now we're cutting through all the illusion and all the treachery that says that we don't have this. We're saying no more and awakening to what it is to be that remembered state of being, that full access point into all sovereign realms, and to be able to awaken fully to who we are, regardless of culture, regardless of nurture, and without the teacher. You are the teacher. This is source-provided codex. This source-provided codex is unlocking a lot of potential within you, greater than you could probably ever imagine. But we have to go within and retrieve this archival record. We have to retrieve this DNA. We have to stand up and say no more to the old systems and begin to remember and awaken to what it is, to our own tree of life, to our own Akashic records, to our own Idrisil tree, to our own tree of Sephiroth. Right? This is awakening to our own Kabbalah. Awakening to our own emerald tablets, awakening to our own magic, to awaken to our own eternal expression and what it is to be that, and how we live as that in the form. Because it's more than just out here, it's fully anchored in the body, and then we show up as that. right? This is the awakening of our star codes, because you're here. You're here to show the way. You're here to lead. You're here to be a builder of new earth. You are here to awaken people to higher consciousness. You're here to become a part of that multidimensional and interdimensional experience. You're here to awaken the threads of the divine, and you're here to weave the golden fleece and to read the emerald tablets out loud. So mote it be. That's what you're here for. And this is why it might be scary during this awakening process to know that you hold this much magic and this much beauty and this much excellence within you. But we do not have to fear all that we are, right? We make up stories. Humans make up stories based on belief systems and patterns, based on government institutions, based upon a lot of bullshit and greed that we've gone through, based on socioeconomic status, right? This is a very fertile time of growth and expansion, but we do not have to fear who we are. Right? We don't have to fear who we are, because who we are is amazing, and who we are is magical, and who we are is brilliant, and who we are is beautiful, and it's time to stand as that, because we are resilient. Right? So we're sounding off the new design now. We're sounding off the new templates. We're sounding off the beautiful landscapes, right? This is that clarion call. The sirens are here. Do you hear that? We're awakening to a new normal now. And this new normal might feel funny at first, but it's the new normal. And that's what the Age of Aquarius brings forward for us. And that's what this hyperdrive accelerated pathway is for all of us. All right. So I love you guys. Much love and respect to everyone out there. Thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Donation links are available in the description box. If you donate and like to give, please do. I always cherish your charity and your ability to give, and your ability to be also be able to receive these messages, right? We're reliving a lot of past life things right now. Let it go. Let it go. Feel what you need to fully, but keep your eyes on the miracle and on the magic ahead. Because what's happening, what's coming forward right now from the past is just a clearing, right? Let go of the campaign, let go of the illusion, and awaken to the miracle and the magic that you are, because we're all ready. We're ready to end the divide. We're ready to come together. We're ready to build. The foundations are being set for us to be able to do that here and now. And I want to thank my teams, the councils, the high councils of light, and the elders for coming forward and facilitating in this message, and for gifting us the opportunity to become one with the divine, to become one with the all, and to become one with our higher self and with our true, deep, eternal knowing. We all deserve the right to be here and to stand in our power and to stand in our truth and to know who we truly are. And that's why this time has arrived, because that's what the Age of Aquarius is brought forward for us now, and that's what she's going to keep bringing forward. But it's time for us to choose to live this and to be this fully, and to awaken to the prophecy. That all is okay, that all is abundant, that all is magic, that all is glorious, that all is divine, that all is eternal, and we're all awakening to that more and more every single day. Right? I love you, brothers and sisters. And with that, I'll see you in another moment of the now. Namaste.